I'm an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Lockridge, a fly ball to center. Cedon Rafaela is there. And the Brewers are shut out today by the Red Sox. Final score, 5-0.
Yeah, just a tough game all around, really, for the Milwaukee Brewers. Not a ton of traffic for them on the bases. Sonny Gray was really good. Too many walks by the pitching staff, and the Red Sox, win the series. First series loss for the Brewers of the 2026 season.
Everything's gonna be just fine.
Or not.
Whatever. We're good. Everything's good. 8-4. We'll take that. 500 on the road. We'll take that. That was ugly.
It just was a bad game.
Yeah. 4 hits ain't going to get it in. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Live on YouTube. Live on Twitter. Live on wherever you may stream us. You have no excuse. Welcome in. We're glad to have you. All right, time to play catch-up.
Packers.
The draft is 2 weeks from today. We talked about that yesterday. Like, where'd that come from?
It's still insane. It's going to be that until you say tomorrow is the draft. I'm going to be like, how?
How is that sneaking up on us, yet it feels like 1,000 years between the Badgers hockey's last game
Seriously.
and the Frozen Four?
Seriously. Ugh.
So
crazy.
Here's the problem, though, Josh.
Yeah.
The draft doesn't start for the Packers 2 weeks from today.
And I think that's why. I think it's because it's kind of like everyone looking forward to like the Sunday of the Masters, which we're going to talk golf later in the show. But it's like that's the big day, right? For the draft, the first day is the big day. That's where all the pomp and circumstances and everything else that goes around with it. And the Packers, at least as of right now, not participating.
It's a valued question, though. Do they participate? Do they trade up into the first round? We had a little bit of a chat about this yesterday. I have not looked into it in a serious manner, and we know where the needs are and the biggest impact, although we can find needles in haystacks. We've done that before, rounds 4, 5, 6, 7. But rounds 1, those guys can come in and start if we really needed them to. But it's a trap shoot no matter where. Derek Sherrod, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I also feel like it's an instant gratification move if you're a fan, right? You're watching the draft. There's not a whole lot else going on, and you want your team to be a part of it. And so you're like, come on, make a move. Do something. I want that excitement now. I want to scratch that itch right now. It doesn't mean that then a month from now you're going, they probably shouldn't have done that. We needed the picks. It's just on draft night, you want to be a part of it.
That's it. Because whatever decision we make, it will not matter. Oh, great. Give up 3 picks in the rounds 3 and 4. Now what?
Yeah, no clue. No clue. You have no clue.
We just have to remind ourselves, Micah Parsons.
Yes, it's kind of like when at the trade deadline for the Brewers, when they got Woody back, and everyone was like, okay, I know they didn't make a big splash, but it's almost like they traded for Brandon Woodruff. You got Brandon Woodruff, and everyone's like, yeah, okay. Like it didn't scratch that itch, but you're right. Like that's a good move. We do the same thing. We're getting Micah Parsons with the 0th pick in the 2026 NFL draft. The Packers took Micah Parsons. Just tell yourself that. just tell yourself that everything's okay. Everything's okay.
That's funny. All right, so that's it. That's all there is in Packerland, and so be it, because any news this time of year outside of draft news is probably bad news, unless there's a splash coming in social media. Why was I going to say social? In free agency.
Right.
which we would find out about social media. Moving on, Brewers.
Brewers.
That was bad.
Oh,
I love your notes in our little show prep sheet here. Worst game of the season. Like, I can just hear you saying this, Josh.
yep.
Worst game of the season. Lose first series of the season. Honeymoon phase ends at game 12. I can just see you.
I believe that, though. I think the honeymoon phase is over. I think there was something about just like that start where it was like, hey, let's go. Brewers season. Murph's still doing his thing. We're right back. And then we go up against the 2-8 at the time, Boston Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first series that we lose. We start seeing some dumb mistakes. We start seeing the injury bug really show why it's a problem. You know, there was a double play possibility. Hamilton kind of bobbled it where you go, Terang would have had that. And you start, now the honeymoon phase is kind of faded. And it's like, all right, we're in baseball.
Yeah, there's 150
now we're on the roller
games
coaster.
left.
Right. But the ups and downs of the season, we're here now.
Yeah, that's a good point. 8-4 nonetheless, tied for first in the Central. 500 coming back home tomorrow. We have 2 home series in a row, a bobblehead giveaway this weekend, another off day on Monday. We'll settle in, but we got to get through these injuries. We're going to kind of dissect that a little bit in tomorrow's show on what it is with injuries in sports. And are they just more cautious today than they were in the past? Because it seems more apparent. There just seems to be more injury. Maybe it's access. Maybe it's precaution. I don't know, but we got a lot of guys banged up already, and it's early.
Yeah. And we did last year too, but I don't know. I don't remember being as annoyed with it as I already am this year.
Valid. Shane Drohan, not terribly annoying, 0-1 in his debut, 2.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 4 walks, 2 Ks. But just how the universe works. Who was his first strikeout victim? The guy they traded him for.
One away for Caleb Durbin. And he struck him out. First big league strikeout for Drone, and it's the guy he was traded for.
How about that, right? Caleb Durbin is just eaten alive right here by this cutter right in under his hands. That's a nice pitch. Look how far that pitch moves.
Yeah, that's crazy. What are the odds of that?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, it is like a script, as if they wrote the script.
The universe is kind of funny that way. You just got to look for it. There's some weird stuff. They did throw the ball off. Did you see that?
Yes.
That's a keepsake. First strikeout. His family was there. He didn't have a bad outing, Josh. He didn't give up a hit until the 3rd. He just had some control issues.
And that's where it fell apart. I think that's what's frustrating too, is because we literally saw that yesterday from Miz. You know, Miz was on fire too. He was doing great. And then he walked 3 batters. And then in the same instance, everything fell apart. It just kind of sucks when you see those guys doing really well and then it all falls apart in one time.
That's what I was going to say. You can do so well. And then, boom, baseball's like, wait a minute, you can't make mistakes like this, especially against Major League Baseball players who should capitalize on those mistakes. And the Red Sox did in a couple games in a row. Honorable mention here in the Brewers recap, RIP to Davey Lopes, former Brewers manager. He managed the Brewers in 2000, 2001, and for a short stint in 2002. He was the last manager of the Brewers at County Stadium. And the first manager of the Brewers at then new Miller Park. RIP to him and all the best to him and his family. 3-12 start in 2002, and then they made a change. I did not realize that until I did a little research. Yeah,
not necessarily the best years, but still, you know, part of the Brewers family, Brewers community. 80 years old, passed away.
I'd like to someday look at to when the Brewers organization changed. I understand 2008 was the first year back to the playoffs since 82, but there had to have been some things that happened before then that we didn't recognize then that we would look back on now and go, ooh.
Yeah, it was that 05-06 area when they, you know, started. Who are these guys that we're bringing up from the farm system? This Ryan Braun guy, Prince Fielder. Hey, we knew his dad. And there's Ricky Weeks over there. And then, you know, those guys just started playing together, and it was, you know, they came up together, they performed together, they became all-stars together, and really the organization hasn't looked back.
Brewers off today, back tomorrow. On to the Badgers.
Badgers.
In my best Rafiki voice, It is time.
It is time.
Finally, it is here. 4 Central today, North Dakota versus our Wisconsin Badgers, T-Mobile Arena, for the first time since 2010. What did it sound like when the Badgers won in 2006? Because I don't want to talk about 2010. They didn't win that national championship game. So let's focus on the winning effort that got us the last national title. This is what it sounded like when we won in the Frozen Four back in 2006.
Down to 10 seconds left to go. It'll be Hockey East, represented by Boston College. And the WCHA, represented by the Wisconsin Badgers, who win it 5-2 over Maine.
Listen to some of the NHL players that were on that roster, Josh. Audio courtesy of ESPN. You ever heard of Joe Pavelski?
Sure have.
Brian Elliott, Tom Gilbert, Adam Burish. I mean, there were 9 NHL players on that Badgers roster that won the national championship back in 2006. Did you see our guy from Madison, who's got the greatest lettuce of all time, is out in Las Vegas?
Who?
Jocko.
Oh, yeah. Jocko's out there? Yeah.
I thought about reaching out to him and just saying, hey, bud, you want to come on and preview and, chat Badgers hockey? Buddy, I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas, but I'm not doing anything before noon.
Yeah, it's a little early.
Maybe we can get him tomorrow morning after positive news. We'll put him on call. Hey, bud, don't celebrate too much tonight if they win.
I was going to say it might even be more difficult tomorrow.
Let's talk about some Bucks.
Bucks.
Let's back out of this for 30 seconds here. The last home game for the Bucks is Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. There's no playoffs. There's nothing else to look forward to. Game, set, match on the 2025-26 season. Our guy Mike Heller put out about a 30-second video yesterday talking about what the right thing to do is. Listen to this, and then we'll chat about it.
There's never a wrong time to do the right thing. And to me, the right thing, even though it's a little corporate malfeasance to risk putting him out there, the right thing to do is to put him out there. Limited. I'm not playing him 38 minutes. I might, say to Giannis, we're going to start you and we're going to play you up to 18 minutes limit. You haven't played in however long, but we're going to start you. It's the last, home game of the season. That's to me, the right thing to do.
What do you think?
I think it's a really difficult decision trying to listen to your heart and your head at the same time.
Man, tell me more. That's life right there, bud.
Your heart says absolutely put him out there. You put him out there for him. You put him out there for his family. You put him out there for the fans. You absolutely put him out there. Your head says it's still a risk. And what are you saying about the organization if you do that? What is there a repercussion that the national media, who has been having this whole relationship under a microscope, what stories are they going to make saying the Bucks organization and the people in charge there have no idea what they're doing? How could you possibly let a player convince you that this is a good idea? Blah, 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 blah. It's a very difficult decision. That being said, I agree with Mike. I think I say you let him play. I don't think you let him play. I think you let him suit up. I think you let him go out there for a few minutes. And I think the idea to me is just a little crazy. If the Bucks legitimately think that they want him on the team, not that they think he'll stay, but if they want him and they're worried that if he plays 10 more minutes of basketball this year, that he's going to hurt himself again, boy, then are you sure you even want to offer him that extension? Like, that's my thing. Like, if that's what you're saying, that you're that worried that he's going to step on the court and even playing half a game of basketball, injure himself again, those are some big worries that maybe you need to look in the mirror and go, our worries are really saying something to us right now. And for those reasons, I'm thinking, let him play.
Very much damned if you do and damned if you don't. This is a lose-lose situation at this point in the season. You're saying let him play. My thought process on this is if they're going to trade him and they already know it, let him play. This is the curtain call. This is your last time on the court. This is your last time in front of the fans. Your last time suiting up in Milwaukee. We love you. We'll miss you. It's time to move on. Go ahead.
See, and I look at it the other way of if you don't know if you're going to trade him, then let him play. Because
if you
then it's you're giving him what he wants. You're convincing him to stay. You're doing things for the fan base. There's positives in that case if you don't know if you're going to trade him. If you think there's a chance he does stay, then let him play.
That to me would be an emotional move because they're trying to save face and save grace. If they want to keep him, my opinion, they can't play him because they have to stick to their guns and they also need to protect their investment. But if they really think they're going to move on, my vote would be give them the curtain call. And honestly, I will be the first to admit it. If they came out today and said that Giannis is playing tomorrow night, I'm going.
So, breaking news on the show. Mitch Thundernelis from the Mason Crosby show and myself are going to the game.
Nice.
We have tickets. We're going to go. We were going to go regardless of if Giannis plays, just because it still might be his last time on the bench. It might be his last time lining up with the Bucks. I don't know. And I don't want the next time that I see him or the last time that I see him to be when he's here as a visiting team opponent.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Are you going? Are you with Josh and Thunder? Are you going no matter what? For the very reasons that Josh just shared, will you be at Fiserv Forum tomorrow night, regardless if we know Giannis is going to play or suit up or if we don't, simply to see him? And kind of like when it's Rodgers' last game or Favre's last game, you just go to say thanks.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're doing. I'm going to make a sign. I have ambitions to make a sign.
You know you can order those.
I feel like a lot of people say, let's make a sign, and then they don't make a sign. But I'd love to make a thank you, Giannis sign. Yeah.
That's where it gets difficult. I don't know about you, bud, but I'm a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like that. I would make 18 signs.
Yeah.
And finally maybe feel comfortable with taking one in there because those are the signs that make it on SportsCenter.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Anything else?
Anything else?
The amazing golf ball whacker guy is starting today at the Masters.
Thanks, man. Tell your friends. Step right up, folks. See if you can outdrive the amazing golf ball whacker guy.
There's a lot of golf fans, Josh, that are comparing that to what happened yesterday during the par 3 at the Masters. This is a very prestigious place.
True.
That you can't even take your phone into. You have to be present.
Mm-hmm.
So for guys like Kevin Hart or Jason Kelsey or Pat McAfee, somebody else said, to be there at the Masters, some are saying, well, this is anti-religious.
Yes. There are a lot of golf traditionalists that view a lot of the things that happened yesterday. And keep in mind that the par 3 tournament is the fun event, right? Like, so if they were going to have, a few celebrities there and that would have been the day to do it. You have the kids with you, but a lot of traditionalists are like, it's about family. It's about golf. It's not about getting other celebrities or athletes involved. Stay out of my sport kind of mentality.
Are we talking about golf or the WWE now? Because the same thing's happening over there.
Yeah. There's definitely some similarities in fandom.
We're talking about golf, and we're going to keep talking about golf. Garbedian on golf Saturday mornings here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network from 7 to 9 joins us next. Why so early? Well, duh. The Masters is about to begin. Chuck's got stuff to do, but we're going to chat with him about the Masters in the I Have Questions portion of the show. If you have questions
I have
about
plenty.
golf, about golf, about other things, you know what? That'd be fun. Let's just ask Chuck all the questions today.
I promise you, Chuck will give you an answer.
For sure. 414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law talk and text line. I Have Questions is next with Chuck Garbedian from Garbedian on Golf on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Those studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Good morning. If you're looking for some new Brewers gear, stop by Rally House at the Mayfair Collection and register to win $100 gift card. While Sparky broadcasts with Wisconsin Sports Daily live this afternoon from 2 to 5 on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, inside Wisconsin Sports. As we do every day, we have questions.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious. Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250. We transition from typically angry questions. We like to process things at 6:29-ish. But today we just calm ourselves down. Man, there's nothing that puts me to sleep like this on a Sunday afternoon.
So peaceful.
It is. Let's ask some questions about golf today as the Masters starts. Joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. The host of Garbedian on Golf. Saturday mornings from 7 to 9 here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Chuck Garbedian joins us. First things first, Chuck, good to meet you.
Pleasure.
And secondly, we're up early, right? Because this thing gets going here pretty quick.
Well, you might be up early. I'm usually up every day around 4. So for me, I'm a couple hours into the day already, and it's just
and
fun.
You both, bud.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because now we're watching the Masters right now, and it was funny because during the ceremonial opening shot, Nicholas Pohl hooked one right over the crowd and it was interesting because they have a crane camera and some drones out there this year. So when they showed the shot, it was from behind him looking down the first fairway, and it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Never saw that before. And then he pulled it back and rifled one right over the crowd on the left-hand side. They all ducked and jumped out of the way, and he yelled 4 left. And it was kind of like, oh, man. That was kind of interesting because I don't think the patrons were expecting that up the left-hand side. Always stand to the right. You're a little bit safer when a touring professional is around.
Cut to music.
Well, he's 86. I mean, the fact that he's out there and he's on 2 artificial hips. It's 7 a.m. at Augusta time. It's cold there for them. So, it's a great tradition. It's one of the cool things that makes the Masters the Masters. But man, you got to have your head on a swivel because there's a golf ball coming at you by an 86-year-old legend.
So tell us, Chuck, a little bit about if we don't get into golf, if there are people that are, let's just say the casual golf watcher.
Okay.
What makes the Masters different?
Pretty much everything. The interesting thing about the Masters is, the PGA Tour is the PGA Tour. PGA of America runs the PGA Championship. The United States Golf Association runs the U.S. Open. The R&A, Royal and Ancient, runs the Open Championship. The Masters is basically just an invitational. It's like your club hosting something. Like if Wild Rock decided they want to have an invitational and they invited you to play in it, that's what it would be. It would just be a group of people who've decided this is what it's going to be. The lore of this is Alistair McKenzie designed the golf course. Bobby Jones founded the golf course, 2 legends in the game of golf. And they decided that this farm in Georgia was going to be the place where they have their tournament every year. And they invited some friends down, throw a peg in the ground, and let's start playing. And since 1934, this has been the first rite of spring. It's one of the coolest things, and it has a lot of great traditions that go along with it.
Is that why so many people were twisted yesterday, Chuck, when guys like Kevin Hart and Jason Kelsey and maybe even Pat McAfee kind of brought themselves into the Masters? Is it kind of untouchable ground for what we would know today as sensational media?
I don't know if it's untouchable, but what it is the Masters have always been a little bit ahead of the curve and a little bit behind the curve at the same time in terms of where they are, in terms of, their civil rights record, in terms of inviting African Americans to join, inviting women to join Augusta National. They've been behind on that. In terms of technology, Fred Ridley's going to kind of move them forward. Talked yesterday about the ball rollback and where Augusta National stood on that. So they'll introduce different things to see how they work. Now, if they get enough feedback and decide that Kelsey and Hart weren't the things that really kind of made the par 3 contest what it was, and it's the par 3 contest, It's not like, Jason Kelsey and Kevin Hart are going to be on the first tee announcing anybody when the tournament starts. And they're not members at Augusta National, they're guests. So Augusta will do some things a little bit differently than some of the other manufacturers would do. It's fun to see. I don't know, it's something you want to see all the time, but you don't want to see number 16 at TPC Scottsdale, where it's just, they build an amphitheater and it's just an absolute zoo and circus out there. You don't want that all the time, but once in a while, it's kind of fun. So it's just interesting to see where it went. There are some people I've seen that are kind of, don't want to see that. That shouldn't happen. This is the Masters. Yeah, don't take it too seriously. It's a golf tournament.
Well, I think that's an interesting point, though, Chuck, because you have the tradition and the history and the professionalism, let's call it, of an event like the Masters. And then you have the Waste Management Open, which is like two golf events, professional golf events, handled completely different, polar opposite feels, styles, and way that it's enjoyed by the fans. Is that transparency on the opposite polarizing differences still good for the sport?
Well, it's different because the PGA Tour runs the Waste Management, and it's generally acknowledged as the biggest party in Arizona. And it's at a time when you have spring training out in Arizona. You might have a Super Bowl that same week, because that's happened before. You have the Barrett-Jackson auto auction going on out there in late January. When you start getting into spring in Arizona, and Scottsdale is one of my favorite places. I'll always be at Wekopa, which is in Fort Silver, Arizona, just outside of Scottsdale. It's a great place to hang out. It's a great place to base your golf trip out of. It's a fun place to be, and Arizona is not like anything else. The difference with Arizona now is, man, it is so crowded with people now, and so many people have discovered it. It used to be this little oasis in the desert, and now it's a destination. The difference with it is it's a party at the Waste Management. Everybody knows it. Everybody acknowledges it. This has a little bit more decorum. It has a little bit more history. It has a little bit more lore. So it's something a little bit different. It's for the patrons, because they're never fans at Augusta National. They're patrons at Augusta National. So it's for the patrons there, for them to experience something that they've never experienced before. It's also for the players. When you listen to the press conferences during the course of the week, you'll hear Victor Hovland and Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy say, I've never experienced anything like this before at a golf tournament, because it's not just a golf tournament, it's a golf experience.
Chuck Garbedian on Golf, Saturday morning, 7 to 9 here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Joining us to chat a little Masters in the I Have Questions portion of the show. Josh, are you a golfer?
I'm a bad golfer, but I play golf. That's what I like to say. I'm not a golfer. I play golf.
Game.
Yeah. And I've had the honor and the privilege of golfing with Mr. Chuck Garbedian a few times in my life. And he's well aware of my rule. My scoring system is how many balls you lose. That's my score. So if I end the day and I go, I shot a 3 today. Pretty good day, Chuck. Pretty good day for Josh. He only lost 3 golf balls. Not bad.
Yeah, one sleeve. That's it. Go back to the shop and help the economy.
You're darn right.
Mm-hmm.
I play golf, love the score and the game of golf, but every once in a while you just get into one of those scrambles, and then I love drinking on a golf course. I think that's a fair statement. But I also love betting.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, but I also love betting on golf. And Josh has a very unique wager that he's kind of been hoping somebody takes him up on. And so maybe this is your moment, Josh.
Yeah, so there's, I've someone that doesn't follow golf religiously on the PGA Tour. I feel like whenever I jump in and just want to, hey, who do you think is going to win? I don't know. And so I let everyone else take the top 4, and then I go, okay, and then give me the field. And so right now, the Potawatomi Sportsbook has that as Scotty, Bryson, John Rahm, and Ludwig as the 4, the top 4 currently before the start of the tournament. And so I've said, all right, someone can have those 4 and then give me the rest. Your thoughts on that as a fair wager? I've talked to a few people that have said, nah, those 4, maybe you include Rory, who's 5th, but like they're in a league of their own right now, and they're pretty confident one of those guys is going to win it.
So who are the 4 again? It's Rahm, Scheffler?
Rahm, Scheffler, Scotty's the favorite to win. Then Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, and then Ludwig is 4.
And then you get the field?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, take the field. Yeah.
Okay.
The winner wasn't mentioned in that group of 4. None of those 4 guys will win the Masters. Those 4 guys will be in the mix at the Masters, but they won't win the Masters.
Who you got?
Who's winning it?
Justin Rose will win the Masters.
I've never been so confident about anything in my life.
He is
as
plus
you are in this.
2,800 right now at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Money on that and enjoy the winnings.
We got to go to break. I got to make a bet.
Woo! I love that.
Have some fun. I'm happy to help in any way
awesome.
I can. That's the pick to take because he's played exceptionally well. He knows his way around the golf course. He's physically able to take care of it, and he has great comportment. He knows what he's doing. You can tell in the 2 losses that he's had, the score that he had where he lost in the playoff would have won most of the Masters. So I think, if you're looking for a dark horse and somebody who's kind of off the charts, even though they've mentioned him on television, they've mentioned him a lot on TV because he was in the playoff with Rory last year. So you saw a lot of him last year. But he made a putt on 18 to put himself in a position to win that Masters and almost won it.
I love it.
Well, according to the Potawatomi Sportsbook, the Masters begins in 60 seconds. I can tell you right now, we're not keeping you from that. Chuck Garbedian, Garbedian on Golf, Saturday mornings here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, 7 to 9. It's the Super Bowl. Chuck, have a great weekend. We'll hear you on Saturday morning. And apparently, I literally want to put money on that guy to win.
Yeah, go. And let's tee it up soon, my friend.
Gentlemen, I appreciate it. All the best. Let's tee it up.
Thanks, Chuck.
Very good. Chuck Garbedian on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Literally teeing off in 30 seconds, the 2026 Masters.
Are you gonna? How much of the Masters are you gonna watch?
Sunday, maybe more. Play that music, would you? I just want to go into break, just nice and calm.
Yeah,
a lot, as much as I can.
I love the Masters on Sunday.
Here. I have a huge TV right next to me. I'm going to watch it right now.
Okay.
How about that?
All right, that's a good call. I love the Masters on Sunday. I love the pressure of the shot. It's tough for me to get into the first rounds when you don't have like the storylines of will Tiger make the cut, and it's just you're just kind of watching golf to watch golf. But it is the Masters, and the Brewers had a disappointing loss yesterday, and there's not a game tomorrow. So you know what? Let's watch some golf.
Anybody know what channel the Masters is on right now? Oh, there we go. Golf channel. All right, live from the Masters. Maybe that's it. Maybe not. I don't know. Hey, wait a minute. The most electrifying sound of the day comes from golf?
For the first time, I think, in the show's history.
Probably the last time. Well, never say never.
Never say never.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
It's time for
The most electrifying
sound of the day
The most electrifying
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Which we're back to 8.
Oh! Keegan Bradley's second year in a row. This is unbelievable.
And Keegan Bradley's hole-in-one yesterday at the par 3 contest of the Masters, call courtesy of Scott Van Pelt and ESPN, is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. As you heard SVP say there, Trev, one of the big reasons why that was the one I picked, because there were a few hole-in-ones in the par 3, but the first time ever there was a back-to-backer where 2 years in a row, the same player had gotten a hole-in-one in the par 3 contest. Keegan Bradley does it yesterday.
What time does he tee off today? I'd be hungover as hell.
I'll tell you this too. They also said that the winner of the par 3 contest has never won the Masters that year. So I would not base a lot of your bets today on the Masters based on what happened yesterday in the par 3 contest.
8:31 a.m. Keegan Bradley this morning. I'm not sure if that's Central. I think it's Central time.
Could be.
Maybe Masters time. Is that the greatest sports accomplishment a semi-athletic adult can make?
I think so.
The 300 is a big deal. I know you have one.
Yep, I got one of those. There's a huge, the amount of time in my radio career that debate has come up between which is the bigger accomplishment, the 300 or the hole-in-one. And it's very funny because I think there's no way, shape, or form that it's not a hole-in-one. And a lot of golfers go, it's a 300. And I go, that's because you play golf. If you don't play golf, the idea of a hole-in-one seems like impossible.
So does a 300 for the most part. You know how much has to go right? Of course you do, but the average bowler is not doing what you do with your bowling ball.
Sure.
Worrying about oil patterns and all of that. That's crazy.
Yeah. I get that. I just feel like the science and the improbability behind a hole-in-one is way higher than bowling a 300.
You think?
Yeah, further away, smaller ball, smaller cup, more ways for it to go wrong. Like every time you keep the ball in the lane, if you hit the head pin, you have a chance. You have a chance. It's not always the case for golf.
Is there anything else besides a 300 and a hole-in-one? 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law talk and text line. Is there, a lot of people playing pickleball these days.
Yeah, but are those, like, I was thinking about that, like, if you take in, like, other racket sports, tennis, but are those sports that the average Joe can accomplish some type of feat? Like, I feel like you'd put that up there with, like, if you pitched a perfect game, or if you did, those are like, you did the best you could accomplishments. And I don't know that there's a whole lot more average Joe sports that you can accomplish those type of things.
Yeah. I can't think of any. I'm wondering if someone else can. I can't remember the last time I bowled for real. Like actually went out to a lane that was oiled with people that know what they're doing. That's the other part about bowling that makes me angry is if you don't get it and you're just out there throwing the ball down the lane, you screw me up and everybody else that attempts to know what they're doing in regard to the sport. Whereas golf, it's just, you really can't do that. There's nothing that you can do to prevent me from having a good or bad golf game.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Well, is that not the most solo sport ever?
Well, yeah, but if you're still out there with I always thought like it's crazy that you can get paired up. Hey, I'm going to pay you a lot of money to go spend multiple hours doing a sport on your property, and you're going to make me do that with someone I don't know.
Yeah.
For 3 hours. Imagine if you went bowling and they were like, all right, great. Lane 9 only has 3 people on it and they just finished their second game. So you can go start your first with them. What? No, put me on my own lane. Golf is like, nope. You go play with those guys over there. Oh, what's that? They play 4 days a week? Cool. This is my first time out in 2 years. Can't wait. Gonna have a lot of fun today.
Has that ever happened to you? I mean,
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, I hate it. That's why I think like it was like probably that's why I don't golf as much as I used to, because now it's when I can get at least either one buddy or a foursome together, then I'm like, all right, let's go play golf. Otherwise, I'm not trying to get paired up with people I don't know. I'm not good enough at the game.
I was just going to say, are you the guy that doesn't want to be paired up with someone else? Or are you the guy that someone else doesn't want to be paired up with?
Yes. The answer is yes. Because I just know if I'm with someone, either if they suck, I'm still not going to do well. And more importantly, I suck. And then it's going to be either just me feeling terrible the whole time or them being like, hey, don't worry about it. Great shot. What are you talking about? It's a worm burner 50 feet up. What are you shut up.
Golf is the most immediately excused sport in the history of sports. On the first tee, you take that driver, whatever you're using, and worm burn it. What's the next words out of your mouth? Oh, got to stretch. Not quite warmed up yet.
Oh, not me. I'm usually like, oh, yeah, there it is. It's going to be a good day today. All right.
The 773 says a hole-in-one is way more random than a 300. Nobody lucks into a 300. Plenty of bad golfers have a hole-in-one. That's my belief as well.
Yeah, the 920 says, I'm not a golfer, but a bowler. I have 2 hole-in-ones. 268 is my high score. Crazy. I'm sorry, but if you have 2 hole-in-ones, you're a golfer. Sorry. I think you
I don't know, man.
I don't think you know what you are.
But to the other person's point, you can get lucky with a hole-in-one. You can't get lucky with a 300. That's not a thing.
You can throw it. You have to do it 12 times. Usually
have
out
to
of
be
those
a
12
bowler.
times, one of those is a bad shot. You get lucky.
But you have to be a bowler to have any remote chance to do something 12 times in a row. You can hit a tree and have a golf ball fall in a hole, but it's one swing.
Sure. That I get.
When we come back, John Horst spoke in a Q&A, and the question in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump, do we trust the Bucks, and does it help or hurt us that they keep talking? We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Lockridge, a fly ball to center. Cedon Rafaela is there. And the Brewers are shut out today by the Red Sox. Final score, 5-0.
Yeah, just a tough game all around, really, for the Milwaukee Brewers. Not a ton of traffic for them on the bases. Sonny Gray was really good. Too many walks by the pitching staff, and the Red Sox, win the series. First series loss for the Brewers of the 2026 season.
The bummer part about that was that Sal Frelick led off the game with a ground rule double. And you're like, hey,
Let's go.
we can do this. Let's win another series. Or not. Audio courtesy of Brewers TV. 500 on the road trip, but 5-0 against the Red Sox yesterday. We come home a little battered and bruised. 8-4. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Back at AmFam Field. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are less than 2 hours away, Josh, from the debut of what is going to be the State Connect jerseys.
They're the City Connect jerseys featuring the state.
We think. Now, let's be real. And this is going to come up and be better here in a little bit on a Be Better Thursday on Inside Wisconsin Sports. But we don't know. Was the leak real? Was it not? All of the teasers make it seem like it was.
They sure do.
But I'm annoyed by that. That's coming up and Be Better. But for now, let's tap into everybody's annoyance when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks, shall we? The season comes to a close tomorrow night at home, and then over the weekend, the last game of the regular season, and the season that is the 25-26 Milwaukee Bucks season. But John Horst came out with quite the interview in The Athletic. He sat down with Eric Nehm, questions and answers aplenty. But really, do we know anything? Well, let's dissect and get it off our chest and out of our heads. Time for the Malott Meats Morning Mind Up.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee has kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump, presented by Malott Meats. High-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door. To learn more, visit WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
10% off on the meat of the month at WisconsinMeatMarket.com. It's a sale for Mother's Day. Tenderloins, 10% off. Head there now, WisconsinMeatMarket.com, and experience the power of the family meal with Mom. With Malott Meats. So John Horst sat down with The Athletic and Eric Nehm. They had a little bit of a conversation, and there was one particular piece, Josh, that stood out to us as we chatted about this yesterday. It's a quote from Horst that says this, and then we'll tee this up. The lack of clarity, the lack of understanding my role, lack of fit. Is that because it exists and there isn't any clarity, no conversation, no directness? Or is it because we're not winning? So there must be a reason. There must be an excuse. And the truth is, it's all a reason. It all plays into it. Yeah. That one stood out.
Yeah, if you read the full Q&A, it definitely seemed like the word of the article was clarity. Clarity came up a lot. People looking for clarity, wondering, like, going into the off season, where is that? Is it foggy? But I read that one specifically multiple times, trying to best understand it. And like, what is he trying to say there? And it really seems like he's saying that it's everything. It's a mess. It's the fact that they're losing. It comes down to his roles and responsibilities, the players, the ownership group. It's all of it. All of it is reasons, which I thought was very interesting. And there are a few other things that go into that, if just a little bit under that, when they're talking about clarity and alignment and how important that is. Eric Name says to him, but to get alignment, it can't be foggy, right? And Horst answered that by saying, totally, yeah, of course. You have to have clarity and alignment on where you want to go as an organization, what matters to Giannis. But I'm saying we don't have to know that today. I don't count that as a lack of clarity or a lack of communication. That's just the set of circumstances. We have to figure that out, and we have to, in part, use what we learned from this year, and in part, where we want to go and where he wants to go. I've always cared what he thinks, and we got to figure it out, but I don't think it's foggy because it's not one path fits all. I think you have to truly evaluate both paths. I don't know what we're going to do.
He didn't take anything off the board, and he didn't commit to anything being on the board. That's really the theme, right? Is uncertainty, the lack of clarity, ironically, which is exactly what we were hoping to get from the article.
Right. And I didn't expect him to straight up come out and say, like, no, we are not planning on, or yes, we are. Yeah, of course, you're gonna get that. But I thought it was interesting the way that he was answering those questions, of not just saying, like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you that, but in a way of saying, I don't know, and I don't need to know. When he said, like, I don't need to know right now, I was like, no, I don't know that you need to make the decision right now. But you also shouldn't be just hanging out in the world of not knowing. Like, don't you think that they, at the very least, should be further along? Or more, maybe the question is, do you think they are further along? And Horst just was like, I'm not going to lead you on with that.
Kind of, it feels like every time we listen to Goody talk, right?
Sure. Yep.
We think we can take some things out of this. And then Rashawn Gary, we fully expect him to be back. We think he's a good player. A few moments later,
right,
traded. To which we both came out and said, weird, because in one sentence, it sounded like we were all wrong and thought he was going to be gone. And so here I am, Captain Optimist, going, all right, he's a good player. This is going to be good. Everything's going to be fine. Traded.
Mm-hmm.
The same goes true here for John Horst, very non-committal in his answers. And that leads us in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump to process, do we even trust that they know how to figure this out, that they can figure this out? And we had a conversation yesterday or the day before. Is John Horst safe?
Yeah, so I mean, John Horst was asked about that too, like what his plans are for the future. If he's, and you know, he gave the correct answer in saying he's very happy with the Bucs organization and being here, and his family's happy, and he's proud of what they've done and what they continue to do and the challenges that lie ahead, and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So you really can't take a lot of that to heart either. I will say this is a very difficult situation, regardless of what you want the outcome to be. It's sticky, it's messy, and I would not want to be the one in charge of handling how to do this, because I feel like a lot of people are split, and so I don't know that there's a move that's going to happen here that's going to have everyone happy, or even the majority of people happy or satisfied with the move. And he's the one that's in charge of it, with the ownership group, obviously. But he says in the whole Q&A how it's a team. They're constantly talking, which I thought was another key point. A lot of people thought that, like, Haslam and Edens, they say, Horst, you do it. That we're just funding it, and they stay out of it. That was not what Horst made it seem like in the article. He's constantly talking. It's a three-headed monster between the three of them. And that should raise some eyebrows if you doubt the moves that Jimmy Haslam has made. All
we are left for the last 12 plus month is speculation. And I guess that's just the way it's going to be. We talked earlier in the show about tomorrow night. Josh is going, Thunder's going. It may be the last time we see Giannis at Fiserv Forum connected with the Bucks. Mike Heller came out and said the right thing to do is to put him in uniform tomorrow night and play him. But if there is so much uncertainty, if there really is 3 doors, according to John Horst in The Athletic, and they don't know which door they're going to go down or open up, or is it a flight of stairs up or down, or is it just a hallway? Like, it doesn't seem, at least in the public eye, that there's any type of decision that's been made. And yet John Horst did say everything is on the table.
Yeah, as far as you're talking about those 3 doors. So in the article, when they're talking about that clarity and alignment, he says, he goes on to say that you have to have an alignment and an understanding, and not commitment necessarily, but a path forward together that you understand and you go execute. You could call that an extension, or you try to figure out the best win-win that you possibly can moving forward via a trade. It's not actually the only 2 doors, though, right? There's door number 3 that actually exists, but that's just a level set, non-emotional reality of where it's at on October 1st. And I'm not saying that you do something beforehand. I'm just saying you do have to understand where you want to go, but we don't have to know that today. That last line is where I disagree. You don't have to let us know where you want to go. But ever since the trade deadline, this should have been the only topic of conversation that the ownership group and John Horst are having. This is, you need to have a path. Maybe you can't execute that plan, but you have to have your mind made up of where the Bucks want to go.
Do they have enough information to make a decision right now? Like, are they able to come to a conclusion in their mind based on all of the things? It feels like you're trying to solve a murder. Picture the big tack board, right? We've all seen this in shows, and you have strings in between, all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like they're from the It's Always Sunny when he's got that like that meme, like they haven't slept in 4 days. That's how the Bucks look at that right now.
There's a board in the basement of Fiserv Forum right now that has one light. Because it's always one light. It's a dark room, and there's one light, and it's shining at the wall, trying to figure it out. What's on that board? And based on what's on that board now, can they come to a conclusion as to how this trial is going to play out?
No. However, what's that like the tree chart? Like, it's like if you have 2 options, and then if you choose this option, then you have these options. And if
you've read too many kids' books.
Yeah,
it's like,
probably.
Pick your ending.
Choose your own adventure. If the Bucks have made the decision in their mind, which this is why I say I don't know necessarily that you can just sit out there and say we don't need to know yet. If the Bucks have made it up in their mind that they're ready to move on from Giannis, then you have the pieces you need. The only thing standing in your way of making the decision, in my mind, at this point, is Giannis. If your decision, what you want is for Giannis to stay, well, then it's a 2-way street. Giannis has to choose to want to stay too. But if you, as the Bucks organization, are saying, we also think it's time to move on from Giannis, we're going to use Giannis and our draft picks to try to rebuild this team, right? Because they're going to have they're going to have a lottery pick, plus they're going to have availability now for 3 more first-round picks available for trades in the future and keep kicking the can down the road type stuff. They have that. If they go, we're gonna go that route and trade Giannis and try to rebuild, then you know the path. Then the path is we're gonna try to get as much as we can for Giannis now. Okay, done. If they don't know if they want to keep Giannis, or if they know they want to keep Giannis, then there's more information. Then they can't solve the murder yet, because Giannis they got to figure out if Giannis is bought in too. But
I think that's one of the bigger pieces here. And Shams last night actually, doubled down again that there was a conversation that happened last May, and Giannis's agent and everybody being on the same page that it was time to move on. I mean, he will not let that go.
No, he will not.
But somebody in the Bucks organization within leadership said, absolutely not. Giannis, we want you here. We want to build around you. We want to do all the things that we've always done for you, which is pretty much whatever you want.
Here's where I've kind of come on that, because Brandon Stein makes the same argument. He keeps bringing up Giannis said he wanted to play for New York. All right. Giannis also said that He never wants to leave Milwaukee. So let's just take both of those and put them aside. Let's just look at what the situation is now. Right now. Not what happened last summer, not what he said an ownership group ago. Look at this situation right now. What do you think both sides want right now in this moment? That's how I've been trying to guess, for lack of a better word, at what's going to happen. Is looking at like right now, where are the Bucks at? Where is Giannis at? And if I'm the Bucks, I'm terrified because I think that if I keep Giannis, I still don't know if it's enough. Like, I don't know if just having Giannis is enough. I still need to get like this draft pick. I still got to hit on it. I still got to make the right move if I'm going to trade away those other firsts. But if I trade Giannis, I'm still left with a mess here in Milwaukee.
So that's where the conversation about his health comes in. We can't ignore it. He's 32. He has struggled to stay healthy. This is very much a young man's game. Con Knipple, I don't even think he's 21 yet. If he is, he just turned it. Happy birthday, bud.
Mm-hmm.
That's 11 years younger. And that's the way the league seems to be at, especially because of how jacked up college basketball is. That doesn't help the situation. And Giannis has struggled. I don't want to say can't stay healthy because he can, but he's struggled to stay healthy. And it's maybe more of the conversation of what we're going to talk about tomorrow with the Brewers. Are professional sports, to a point with how much money they have invested in the players and the organizations and all the things that go into it, so beyond careful with injury that it actually hurts the player? In sports, Josh, you have to be able to play through stuff because it's always going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Pepper Burris, talked to him personally, the old trainer for the Packers, said that all of the guys are hurt, always, but only some are injured. You have to play through this stuff. Well, organizations now aren't letting you play through it. It happened with Sal Frelick the other day. He was on first after wincing after a couple swings because of something in his lower back. Just put that in the real world perspective for a hot second. If I didn't do something because I felt something in my lower back, I wouldn't get out of bed. Like, that's called today, and
Right.
It'll be called tomorrow.
Right.
So at some level, though, you have to build up a tolerance. And my concern with Giannis, just based, because you said to reset here, take it all out of it for a hot second. Just take it for what it is right now.
Yep.
That's when this health thing comes up. But how much of his health has been because he's not playing?
Well, that's a fair point of, and honestly, it's a whole nother argument of just Giannis's health currently and long term.
Right.
Which the thing is, though, is that other teams are also thinking about that. Here's the other thing to keep in mind, too. And this is when he says there's a third door, there's a fourth door, fifth door, there's sixth door. Or at least if you walk through one of those doors, then it's a room with more doors. But they could absolutely sign him to the Supermax, have him come back, and then in 2 years, trade him. In a year, trade him. It's not like that if Giannis is on this team with that Supermax, now that's it. We're good. You're here for the rest of your career.
But based on health, do you think that's a little risky? He's 32, man.
Like for them to pay him that, are you saying?
No, to wait for a year or two to trade him. He's proven he struggles to stay healthy. Sign him to a Supermax. Who's going to want to take on that contract now for a 34-year-old, slightly injury-prone, middle-aged, if not higher-aged NBA superstar?
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'll fight. I still think that the rest of the NBA, maybe not to the same extent, but there's going to be a team or two minimum that will want a player like Giannis because they're that close. The same way that a lot of teams are
give up, right? How much are they going to have to give up?
But think about how badly some of these teams want a championship. They'll go all in, and they'll give up 6 firsts, 4 firsts, whatever. They'll sell the farm in the future going, we got the players now. We had our opportunity. We built a team. We're missing one guy. We're missing a Giannis. We're a Giannis away from winning a championship. Get rid of those firsts. Do what the Bucks did and get rid of those draft picks. Bring him in here and let's hoist a Larry O'Brien.
Is it realistic, Josh, to think that an NBA team that wants to trade for Giannis is, for the most part, only going to be able to give up picks, future, versus players now? And I think that's part of the argument, right? Like, there's a lot of teams that would love to have Giannis, but we know, based on reports, that there was a talk about the Heat, there was a talk about the Knicks, and it didn't make sense for the Bucks to take those deals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's got to be a lot that goes into it, but all of that changes if they do or don't want him here. It's so interesting.
That's why even yesterday or the day before, there were reports coming out of, the Knicks were going to offer these guys, and they were scraboons. They were jabronis. They were guys that we look like at that deal, player for player. We're like, you think those two guys for Giannis is a fair trade? What a slap in the face. And it's because the teams that want Giannis aren't going to trade away the all-star players they already have. They're trying to win a championship. They just need a Giannis. So that's why when you're moving on from a big player, it's no different than what the Brewers have to do. When they traded a Freddie Peralta, they didn't trade Freddie Peralta for Aaron Judge. You're trading Freddie Peralta for some guys that could be great in the future, and you're rebuilding the future. You're rebuilding the pipeline. It's going to be no different whenever that day comes that Giannis is traded from the Bucks.
I have a challenge for you. During the break, I want you to come up with the one answer that would make you feel comfortable, that would answer the Be Better question on a Be Better Thursday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. If you had to pick one thing, Josh, that the Bucks needed to be better at, like if they showed you that they were going to be better at this would make you go, okay, all right, I actually have some faith as to where this is all headed. You noodle that. Well, I Google whatever word did you just use the word scabooms?
Scraboon. Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Like a scrub. I don't know. Let me see. Scrub, OON.
Scraboom.
Scraboon.
The Google doesn't.
Oh. It's a real word.
Today days old.
Yeah.
Scraboom.
Don't be a scraboon.
A Be Better Thursday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Go Justin Rose. Go Justin Rose.
Yeah, I agree.
It's time to answer the question, who needs to be better? Is it a team?
I need to be better for our team.
A coach?
I got to be better as a coach.
A player?
I got to be better. We got to be better. Just facts.
Let us know who you think has to be better. Brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Show people your business is better. Get BBB accredited with the Better Business Bureau at bbb.org.
That's right. It's time to answer the question of who needs to be better here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. 4 out of 5 accredited businesses would recommend accreditation to other businesses. If you want to showcase your business as a better business, get BBB accredited. Learn more at bbb.org. All right, Trevor, to answer the question that my homework, my over-the-break homework of if there was one specific thing that the Milwaukee Bucks have to be better at, what would that one thing be?
That would make you actually go, okay. All right.
There is communication. Now, communication in general is being in this business. Like, I went to school.
It's a struggle.
I have a communication degree. And so I had to take classes. It's hilarious how even in the business where our jobs are to talk, communicating is so difficult. And especially it feels like communicating is more difficult now than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The more that we rely on technology, less interpersonal communication, the harder it is to communicate. But when stories come out like this, and you see behind that curtain a little bit, and you see it's not just the communication outwardly with the fan base, with the national media, and this is the entire Bucks organization, including Giannis, the questions of, well, if Giannis just would say this, all these things could go away. If the Bucks would come out and just say this, and we spent all season asking why they can't just do that. And now we learn at the end of the season, it's because internally, they're still not communicating. They're not unified. Even as a team that stinks, they're not unified. They're not communicating with each other. They're not on the same page. At any level, it seems like teammates are fighting with each other. The coaching staff with the players are fighting with each other. Everyone's kind of asking the questions of they need to talk to each other from the front office down to the team, down to the coaching staff. The Bucks need to be better at communication.
It's a big game of poker, isn't it?
But and to us outwardly, yes. Internally, it shouldn't be.
Well, but I think it has to be because of what we're talking about. Money, 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 money. If you're talking about a supermax and getting the most and making a business decision, just as a quick follow-up as we get into be better with the Better Business Bureau, the hard part about that communication is nobody wants to show you their hand.
Sure. But it seems like if you go back 3 or 4 years ago, that even after the championship, we didn't have those questions. There was no question of, well, would the Bucks even want to keep Giannis? It was, well, of course the Bucks want to keep Giannis. Who wouldn't want Giannis?
Yeah.
We're just praying that Giannis, there wasn't as many question marks because we didn't know all sides, but there was better communication. That's a huge problem right now. They need to be better.
All right, what's another Be Better on a Be Better Thursday with the Better Business Bureau? Josh, you go.
Yeah, all right. Masters coverage. Be better. The Masters just started. People that are super excited about, you were like, let's watch the Masters. The Masters coverage is insane. Okay, if you're trying to watch the Masters today and tomorrow from 1 to 3 p.m., you can do so on Amazon Prime. Then at 3 p.m., it's going to switch over to ESPN, and you're going to watch it there from 3 to 7:30. But then on Saturday and Sunday, then it's going to switch, and then from noon to 2, you're going to watch it on Paramount Plus, and then from 2 to 7, you're going to watch it on CBS. 4 different channels, not even all on TV, 2 of them being streaming only for one sporting event. Be better. Are you kidding me? And the worst thing is, in their promotional of the broadcast, that starts at 1. The tournament doesn't start at 1. The tournament started
like an hour ago.
How do I watch it now? Be better, Masters. My God.
We joked yesterday about what you can and can't say at work versus what you can and can't say in sports. We look forward to chatting with Doug Gottlieb at the top of the hour. We're going to actually ask him this very question because he has had a time or two where he said some things that apparently you can't say in sports either. When someone comes out like Wilson Contreras and says what he said about taking one of the Milwaukee Brewers out if they hit him, I don't care what happened behind the scenes. MLB, be better. You should have made an example of that as to one of the things you can't say at work. Josh and I talked off air that, well, we don't know if something didn't happen behind the scenes. I don't care. I feel like it should have been public. So MLB, make an example of this. Be better.
No, that's a good one. Keeping it in MLB. Sorry, Tommy. Your boy Jake Bauers, he's got to be better. 1 for 15 on that road trip.
Speaking of honeymoon seasons being over.
Yeah, seriously. Now the one was a homer, but 1 for 15 is not good enough, not even close. And it comes at a time when Jake Bauers really had the opportunity to cement himself, right? You had Vaughn out with injury. We knew you were going to bring him in there. Then you had Churio go down. He was playing left field at some point. You were going to have that bat in the lineup. It seemed like on that first homestand, Bauers was here. It was like, let's go. He was putting up numbers, clutch spots. He was bringing power to a team that otherwise was scrappy and had a lot of infield hits. And then just strike out. So cold. Batting 189. Jake, you got to be better, bud.
The NCAA men's hockey schedule, or schedules in general for sports, are tough. You're in a lot of pickles. There's a lot of teams and a lot of places and a lot of fans and a lot of things to take into consideration. This seems like an eternity from the last time the Badgers men's hockey team played until today at 4 o'clock when they're in the Frozen Four for the first time since 2010. I understand. T-Mobile Arena, a hot spot in Las Vegas for things that don't necessarily fit in anywhere else, like Allegiant Stadium, where they can't sell tickets to WrestleMania, but I digress. We got to do a better job of either keeping it top of mind or figuring out how to not allow all of this time between the last game in the regional and the first game of the Frozen Four. So whoever's doing the schedule, be better.
Yeah. Yeah, this is too long. This was way too long. Be better. Hey, Wisconsin athletes, I need your health to be better. I understand that injuries happen. I know we're going to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow on the show, but I do not remember when it was this prevalent to where like we felt emotionally scarred from the excuse of health and injuries being the reason why. It's not even just, players got injured, but they rallied or it wasn't the reason. They still made mistakes. That's why we lost. It's just this injury has been the main excuse across multiple sports. Be better. Come on.
Or be tougher. Or
be
more bubble wrapped or something. Whoever was in charge of leaking the jerseys, the City Connect jerseys for the Milwaukee Brewers, I want to punch you. Not only do I want you to be better and to not do that, but I also need all of us to be better because, well, at least for me, I actually think it's going to be really cool. The story that they're trying to tell with the state of Wisconsin, I mean, all of this is assumptive because the announcement happens today at 9 a.m. on what the Brewers City Connect jerseys are going to look like. That's what all the teasers have us believing.
Yep.
We don't know if the jerseys and hat that we saw are indeed the new City Connect jerseys, but hypothetically speaking, if they are, if the story would have been allowed to be played out and told as to why the Brewers are choosing Wisco on the front of their jerseys for City Connect, that I think would have really helped us understand why they look and feel the way they do. But because someone wants attention, even though they don't want to tell us who they are, now it's all kind of wrecked. So whoever you are, be better. Don't make it about you.
Yeah, and if you're going to leak it, make sure you have a high quality photo of what you're leaking. Like, I think that was part of it too, is that you're leaking it and it looks like awful. Like, it's the quality of it. Like, you didn't.
Did you see? That was actually a screenshot of a video.
Right.
Somebody picked up the jersey on a hanger, wherever the hell that is, and then turned it around. I think it's somebody most likely, Josh, in retail. They saw the jersey.
Stores, yeah.
Yep. They know that they're going to be on the shelves. Oh, what's this? I wonder if this is it. Hopefully they got fired. And if they didn't, hey, employer, be better.
Yeah, well said. The last one for me, hey, NFL writer for The Athletic, Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. Yeah, you guys need to be better.
Well, doesn't look good, does it?
And that's the thing. I'm not saying that the accusations are true because I don't know. But I'm saying you put yourself in that position. You got to understand what you do for a living. And so if it's not true, you still got to be better. Your job is to cover multiple teams, or your job is to be the head coach of a specific team. You know that being in that type of situation with the other party is going to lead to questions, regardless of if your hands on each other or not. You got to be better. I don't know how you get out of this one.
A Be Better Thursday with the Better Business Bureau on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. When we come back, we'll share a few of your Be Betters and ask you a question. If you won the Stanley Cup, we talked about this yesterday on what our favorite celebration is in sports. We all know and see what happens when the players that win the Stanley Cup have it for their keeping for a 24-hour period. I think that's what it is. If you had the Stanley Cup, what would you do with it here in the state of Wisconsin for 24 hours? And don't lie. I really want to know. Somebody earlier said, geez, Trevor sounds like a drunk. All he does is talk about drinking. Guess what? I'm drinking out of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you're going to love the next segment.
100% chance. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I only drink on the weekends.
Hey, did you know that any youth sports player can score a free small classic Frosty anytime they visit Wendy's in their sports uniform? That's right. Just stop by after practice or with your team after a game. Who doesn't love a Frosty?
You know, I like those Wendy's reads. Really grateful for their partnership here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh and the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. But it makes me really hungry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I can't leave to go to a Wendy's. And I know you guys get Wendy's delivered every once in a while.
I would love to have you show up in your sports uniform, though, to try to get a free Frosty. Like, see you throw on your baseball gear. Go. Just got done with practice.
Anymore, Josh.
Just got done with practice, guys. Got to get my free Frosty.
Hungry.
I'd buy the Frosty for that video.
There's some Be Better comments here. We just finished up a Be Better Thursday with the Better Business Bureau. There are some people that say this whole Bucks things need to be better. The start time from the 920 of the Frozen Four is 4 o'clock today. This person says the NCAA needs to be better with that scheduling. Just those words. 1, 2, 3, 4. NCAA needs to be better.
Yep.
That's
Period.
it. That's the tweet. Did you see what happened yesterday with them, by the way? And whatever they're trying to get pushed through with 5 years of eligibility from the time you graduate high school through the next 5 years. No more red shirts, no more medical waivers. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
We'll maybe talk about that tomorrow and how it affects the whole saga that is.
The 414 says Brandon Sproat's ERA is 15.97. Be better, Brandon Sproat. Yep. He's another one on the Brewers there. I love this one from the 920. Hey, be better Cubs fan. Buy a belt or pants that fit when catching foul balls. We didn't talk about this. Did you see?
I didn't. I read that and was like, uh-oh.
There was a clip, I think it was against the Angels, of a foul ball and it like down the right field line. And I don't know if the fan even caught the ball or not, but they panned to it, obviously. And the guy fell and his pants fell more. And like you just saw his whole butt. and it was like, oh boy. And the camera immediately like panned back to the batter.
Was this last night against Tampa Bay? Oh, I'm watching it now. Well, first off, I had to click adult content warning.
Yeah, well.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen.
Whoa. I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
No one was, especially the cameraman. He was like, all right, I'm tracking the ball. I got it here. Oh, hey, all right. Go to camera two. Yeah. I know. You're right on that one, 920. Be better. You gotta get a belt, bud. Put a belt on those pants.
The commenters must have had some really funny stuff to say, because the one I just saw was from John Boy, which means we might have a new electrifying sound for tomorrow. What they have to say, I wonder.
Yeah. That was an all-timer.
I think we can keep the conversation for the Stanley Cup for tomorrow, but we wanted to make sure we at least teased it. If you won the Stanley Cup, you're on an NHL team. It's my favorite celebration that is in sports of a championship. You get the Stanley Cup for 24 hours if you're a part of this team. What are you doing with it? Let's just hypothetically say you're from Wisconsin. There's an NHL Wisconsin team. You win the NHL Stanley Cup final, and you get this puppy for the next 24 hours. What are you doing with the Stanley Cup in the state of Wisconsin? Other than let's all take a beer pong out of the cup, right? Like that's a thing. Every player does that.
Yeah.
This is not an abnormal situation in the state of Wisconsin, although I think most likely we would take it to a different level. Just saying.
Yeah, we'd get creative.
But what else can we do in the state of Wisconsin with the Stanley Cup that I think would make some good content for all the social media peeps that go, oh, didn't see that coming. So get those in now. We'll save them for tomorrow. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. I want to noodle this a little bit more as to what I would because you only have 24 hours, Josh.
Yeah, that's it.
You got to plan.
Are you sleeping at all?
Absolutely not.
Right.
No. Do you know what I'm sleeping when I hand it back?
Yeah, then
I'm probably sleeping like 3 seconds after that happens.
Correct.
Here you go. Done.
Yeah. I just wonder too how many people are like, yeah, and then like an hour and a half in, they're like, all right, now I don't know what to do. Like I did what I wanted. All right, you only have 22 and a half hours left.
Got to have a plan.
Oh boy, that's a long time.
And you're going to need a driver.
True.
I feel like a lot of people would pick up the phone. Hey, it's Trevor from Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Yeah, I don't care. No, wait, hold on. I have the Stanley Cup.
I'll be
To
right
which
there.
The other person says, you have my attention.
Right. I don't know how
What
much
do
I
we-
want to share it, though. I don't
You
know.
just want
that
to hold it by yourself?
I'm just saying I don't know how much of it, like an assembly line I want of people. Oh, that's awesome. Can I get a photo? Can I get a cool? I spent 2 hours with 300 people in line to take a photo with it.
You need security. You got to have a plan. This needs to be detailed. I might actually draw up a business plan for this.
Yeah, I like
a
that.
one page. This is what my plan is for the next 24 hours with the Stanley Cup.
This would be good.
I know.
Yeah.
We didn't see this conversation going that in depth, but I think that would be kind of fun.
No, let's do that. Look forward to that tomorrow.
Lake Michigan's involved.
Ooh.
Door County's involved. I might have to rent a plane. Can we do that? We probably have to do. There's an unlimited budget. That helps.
Oh, is there?
There has to be.
Yeah.
I'm in the NHL. Of course, there's I just won the Stanley Cup.
Oh, so in this hypothetical situation, I am a hockey player. It's not just someone has awarded me the opportunity in my current life.
You grew up in the state of Wisconsin.
Okay.
You played for the Wisconsin Badgers hockey team.
Well, that changes things.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need to think this through.
Party with supermodels.
Next.
Perfect. You just changed my whole life beyond holding a cup.
And Julie.
Why?
You're married, aren't you?
Julie's going to have me out of the house. She'll be like, great. We'll see you later. That's fine.
We'll see you in 24 hours.
And I'm a professional hockey player. She's living the life.
Doug Gottlieb is living the life. Scheduled to appear. Coming up next on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Doug, wake up. You're up. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Lockridge, a fly ball to center. Cedon Rafaela is there. And the Brewers are shut out today by the Red Sox. Final score, 5-0.
Yeah, just a tough game all around, really, for the Milwaukee Brewers. Not a ton of traffic for them on the bases. Sonny Gray was really good. Too many walks by the pitching staff, and the Red Sox, win the series. First series loss for the Brewers of the 2026 season.
That's all right. Can't win them all or something.
Yeah, or something. That's what we'll say.
8-4. Positive. Optimistic.
There we go.
Rough one.
Yeah.
5-0. Audio courtesy of Brewers TV. Back home tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Off day again Monday. Then the Blue Jays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The Miz bobblehead giveaway is this weekend. You
Yes, it
one?
is. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be at the game, but
You got somebody getting one for you.
There might be. There might be someone. I got to see. I used to be way more in on the bobbleheads, to where I needed every single one. Not there anymore.
There is one that I will absolutely have this year.
Yeah, same.
The
That
wooden
one's
one,
coming
yeah.
home. Yep.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back. Third hour Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. The sun is out in Green Bay, DG. Welcome back.
Oh, what a beautiful day in Northeast Wisconsin. I mean,
It looks gorgeous.
Have you ever been to the cross country? I don't know if it's called a track or course. I know this is all the golfers in the area know it used to be a golf course, 18-hole, then 9-hole, whatever. So I get up this morning, let the dogs go and run on the course. I mean, it's just therapy. And can I now say spring has arrived? Are we now through it?
No.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no?
May.
Look, I'm looking.
May.
It's absolutely gorgeous today.
It was
We did this
64 the day that you jinxed it the first time.
Yeah, but it's April. We're in the middle of April. Tax day is next week. Please tell me. It's spring. It's pushing up on summer. Please tell me it's over.
We'll lie to you. You're right, bud. It's over. Winter's over. Spring's here.
It's not over.
we got 27 inches like 3 weeks ago. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts. And that really heavy snow too. That was nuts. But it's
crazy.
It's a great day to be alive considering the alternative, right? And what a beautiful day today.
Love it. Well, good to see you. Sorry we missed you yesterday, but thanks for coming on today. How was the Final Four? I know you were down there. We have lots to cover with you, but let's start there. How was the Final Four?
From what perspective? I mean, as the games or Michigan winning? Or
Well, you had a lot cooking
were
down there. You're down there as a coach. You're down there as a broadcaster. I saw you were doing a show. You're down
really
there as a
Yeah. So okay. I'll just tell you, it was awesome. It was awesome. So I rode down there with Keo Gans, and I don't think I've talked since he got the head coaching
that
job.
was the day. Actually, it broke last week.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, well, let's circle back to that. Okay. So, I rode down with him and I told him, he's like, I don't know if I want to go. Cause what happens at the Final Four is it's the coaches convention. Do you guys know that? Josh, did you know that? It's
all the coaches go.
Yeah.
Just in case, why don't you explain it?
There's actually a coaches convention, right? The NABC, the National Association of Basketball Coaches, they have a convention. So you have
Coaches Con. Nice.
Yeah.
You guys all dressed up
yes.
you guys all dressed up in outfits and everything?
Yeah. So the outfit, Josh, you can go next year if you want in Detroit. The outfit is you have to have a polo shirt with any sort of school logo on it.
Uh-huh.
And And then, yeah, it depends upon weather. Next year in Detroit, probably, you have your parka and maybe a bulletproof vest as well. But
does everyone get a free clipboard when they enter the con?
But you have to break it. You have to break it. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You got to yell. You got to yell.
Oh,
you got to
just
yell
realized
obscenities. You got to yell obscenities.
I lost that bet.
Yeah, you did
lost
lose your bet. You lost your bet.
Oh,
anyway,
that sucks. I didn't realize that until just now.
And so you just listen. If you don't know anybody's name, Josh, you just call him Coach. Hey there, Coach. Great season, Coach.
Everyone looks.
Yes, everybody's a coach, right?
It's brilliant.
It's like the ultimate sausage fest. That's what it is. It's just a bunch of coaches here. But so I'm riding down with Keel, and he's like, "Man, I don't want to do this." Because what happens is when you get a job, every assistant coach who you may know or whatever, they hit you up about either they have somebody to work for you or they want a job, or somebody wants to schedule you, or there's agents or whatever. I got a player for you. It's nonstop. But I said, hey, dude, you get to do the walk. He's like, what walk? I was like, the walk. Like anywhere you walk, you're like, that guy's the new head coach. I never got to do that walk. I got the job May 15th, right? And so by the time I went to my first coaches con, it's great, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell the NABC guys that's how it needs to be. Coaches con, we were 4-28. So I had my hood on. I might as well have a ski mask on. Just I don't want anybody to recognize you. Everybody's like, don't worry, coach, you're two bumps coming, whatever, right? So it was great from two perspectives. Three. One, like I got a coaching tree. That's cool. Two, everybody's like, hey, great year. And you feel like it's from a place of honesty, right? That it was cool. And then the third thing was I somehow have gotten adopted into this Wisconsin coaches hangout. And so it was like these guys, Jesus, criminy, every night, these guys with the beer. Like, I just don't like, I have not yet taken that step yet to where I can go. Like first night we hung out with Matt Matterjack, who obviously just got the NIU job. Josh Bittner, who's the head coach at Tech. Obviously Keel, Norgie was there at some point. All these assistant coaches, whatever, and you kind of go down the list of guys that have any sort of Wisconsin. Brian Baroni, hanging out with him, and Colin Schneider, who's his head of staff. Right, so like every night with these guys with the beer. So the first night we go out, we're having a great time, we're drinking, we're telling stories, we're laughing, or whatever. And then it's like the next day, like, what are we gonna do tomorrow? Like, yeah, we're doing the same thing. Talk basketball all day, drink beer all night. And I'm like, dude, I really either have to step up my game or just be that guy that's over there drinking Arnold Palmer's or whatever. So it was great from those three perspectives.
What about inside the arena for the game? I had a few friends there. There were a lot of people taking photos of their seats at the Final Four and kind of criticizing, being like, yeah, I paid a lot of money to see my team play and I'm watching them on the big screen because I'm so far away. What did you think of the atmosphere inside of the actual Final Four?
Three things. One, didn't go for that sort of reason. I have a super close friend in California who brought his son, AJ, to the game. I had really good seats, and it was kind of the plan. So I did all the stuff before that and then bailed out on Saturday. Secondly, like, that's the Final Four. If you don't like it, don't go. I don't really know what to tell you, right? The NCAA makes all their money on the tournament. And again, do the math on what 75,000 seats brings as opposed to 20,000 seats. It's not great. The thing that's interesting about Lucas Oil is it was kind of originally set up when they built it. That's part of the architectural design, was to host Final Fours or big events in the middle of it. And I don't think the sight lines are great. The best one I've been to is actually Minneapolis, where it's big and it's a dome and it's in the middle. But you know what? The sight lines weren't bad. I don't know, Josh, like, again, nothing says the newbie to the Final Four unless you go like, God, these seats suck. Like, yeah, I know, it's the Final, like, that's kind of the deal, right? It's one of those, I would never do it, but people just go to, here's the best analogy I can use, Josh. Okay, when you go, who's your favorite band to go see this summer. Are you you come to Luke Combs?
I'm not coming to Luke. I'm not a big country guy. I know. I'm a rock guy. I'm
It's okay.
everything
My
from
daughter's a rock musician, right? So what's
let's
your
go Blink 182. They would be one that would sell out a stadium.
Cali band? Okay, so you're gonna go to American Family Field to see Blink 182. Okay, you get tickets. The only tickets you can get are third deck. Do you go?
Probably still go. Yeah.
Why do you go? I mean, you can't really see them, right? Except on the big screen. Like, why do you go?
Because they're there and I'm not going to be able to see them again. Like that's the opportunity I have. Right.
Right, there you go. The same thing with the Final Four. So it's like I understand the complaints about it and that you want to kind of see it, right? But like that's ultimately what it becomes. You go, so you said you went, not because you go because it's you have the greatest view in the world. If you want that, you got to pay for it. That's really that simple. So I don't.
Especially if it's your school. Like if it's your school, you want to be there when the confetti falls.
Yeah, it's also real. It's just it's weird. This is I'm sort of countering myself with it, but it is the most fan friendly of any of these events, right? It just because again, you have all the coaches are there, lots of players. I thought they did a great thing. Division 2, Division 3 was the championships were also there. I didn't like it that they did it on an off day. I thought you could have just rolled them out in kind of same day, bam, 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 bam. That would have been really cool. But like, if you love ball, like you just go watch ball all weekend and you go talk ball all weekend. And then when you're walking around the streets of Indianapolis, you're like, oh, hey, there's, like I'm on a street corner about to go into dinner. And, you walk, I walk by like 15 people that I know. And that if you guys are with me, you're like, who is that? Like, well, that's Tubby Smith. Well, that's Bill Self. Well, that's, you name any guy, any dignitary or basketball player or basketball coach historically in college basketball, they're there that weekend. And then they all culminate. Saturday is amazing. 2 back-to-back games. Everybody in college basketball is generally there or watching, and you're getting a chance to be a part of it. That's really the sale. It's not for the sight lines. It's not great for the average fan. They get priced out and set. I wouldn't do it, but that's also because I've been to like 25 of them, and it's not that big to me.
The head coach of UW Green Bay men's basketball, Doug Gottlieb, on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Who are you closest with at Coaches Con, DG? Who is your buddy or buddies that you're closest with in the coaching realm?
Ooh, I had a really cool job when I was a broadcaster, and what happened originally was, just one, it fits my personality, and two, I thought it differentiated me from everybody else was I was going to be the honest broker, right? And so there were times early on where there were certain coaches that didn't like me because I spoke the truth on radio or TV. Ultimately, it circled back to where I think most of those guys, I earned their respect because they realized it didn't come from a place of bias. I wasn't like, hey, I'm going to be a Coach Sutton guy and I'm only going to defend Coach. Like, the Dukies protect the Dukies and anything Carolina is bad, right? And you and so forth. Like, I don't have those. So when you're a broadcaster, you're not a coach. Okay, I don't know if you know this. There's a rule in coaching. You're going to make an enemy every year, right? You just do. You make an enemy every year. I don't have any enemies, and so I'm kind of in a bunch of coaching circles. So like Chris Beard, I'm very close with. And Beard's the best, man, because he is a late night phone call, late night text guy. I've talked to him 3 of the last 4 nights, like super late, just getting some advice from him. And he's got a circle of a lot of Texas coaches. Like those guys, they get together once a year. And we're talking about doing this with the Wisconsin guys, is they get together once a year, May or June, and they go down to a river and, float the river, drink beer, occasionally talk ball, whatever, just kind of hang together. So Beard's little group, there's still a lot of Coach Sutton guys that are junior college or spread out in college around college basketball. My brother was in the men's side for 26 years. It started with the San Diego State group. So that group has kind of expanded. I'm close with that group. And now I've kind of somehow been adopted in this Wisconsin coaches posse that drinks beer every night. And that I think that's become kind of my group. Those guys are awesome people. It's really a snapshot of what I've learned in Northeast Wisconsin, which is like, Don't walk around like you know something that everybody else doesn't. Don't act like you're better than anybody else. Just hang out, drink beer, have a good time, be a regular dude. And so I'm cool with those guys as well.
Josh.
Yeah.
Greg Gard, Doug Gottlieb, Shaka Smart, Bart Lundy, 4 tubes with a cooler of beer on the Wolf River. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I'm just imagining the 4 of them walking into Coach's Con, all wearing different superhero outfits.
Oh, that's actually
Who's your superhero,
awesome.
Doug?
That is an awesome. My favorite superhero?
Yeah, what would you dress up as?
Well, I wasn't a dork growing up, so I didn't do comic books.
Oh, wow!
But I do like a good Marvel movie. I do like a good Marvel movie or two. Okay.
You mean the ones made by the dorks?
Yeah. Deadpool is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I have to
Deadpool's
make the
great.
case that Deadpool should have won the Academy Award for Best Movie. You want to know why? Because it was the most entertaining movie of that year. I thought that's what it's supposed to be about, right? It was meta.
Never
It
was
was
about.
everything, right? So I love Deadpool. I think Deadpool will be my guy. Deadpool. The other one is Star-Lord, because my secret favorite watch late at night is Guardians. I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
I love that. I was gonna say you had to give me someone besides Deadpool because you can't see Deadpool's face. So Star-Lord's good though.
Well, actually, my face is similar to Deadpool's face. So.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
AI is gonna probably make some amazing photos later of
I like that. Now,
that coach
again,
is
like
coming
coolest coach, like Shaka was cool. He didn't go. Guard, I don't know. I didn't see Guard there, right? And Bart has his own kind of coaching family tree. The guys down south, right? So that's who those guys hang out with. So we like to. I like our little group because I feel like again there's no ego in those guys at all. It's so cool. And Trevor and I have talked about this, and I do think there's a similarity between Oklahoma and Wisconsin. Now, Oklahoma has a little bit more pretension, or sometimes those oil and gas guys, like right now, they're living high in the hog with, oil being at like 150 a barrel. So they'll drive around in much nicer cars, big old, but it's still a truck. It's just now they're doing the high end trucks. Everybody's going to get into a new truck in Texas and Oklahoma. But the thing I know about Wisconsin is you go down and settle up at a bar, and there's 2 dudes wearing jeans and a t-shirt next to you. And the guy on the right, maybe he's a 9-to-5er, right? Got 3 kids at home, wife, doesn't want to go home. The guy on the left, right, might be a multi-millionaire, and you can't tell the difference between the 2 guys. None. And that's what I really like about that kind of Wisconsin coaching crew.
So, Doug, I needed to ask you. We've been obviously talking and discussing the Giannis situation and the Bucks situation as the season comes to a close here. And there was an article, a Q&A that came out with John Horst, with Eric Name from The Athletic. And there's just been a lot of discussion about, do they move on from Giannis? And if they do we trust the organization to find a way to get this back on track? Can you think in your professional media career of a scenario as messy as this with that wasn't this messy it seemed a couple years ago?
I mean, Dallas, all those guys got fired. I mean, here's what's crazy about the Dallas thing with Luka is everything they said, the reason they traded him is right there for you. Right? The reaction to the Dallas trade to me is beyond bizarre. Beyond bizarre. I understand you traded for Anthony Davis, who is he's like Samuel L. Jackson's character in what was that? Was that Unbreakable? The M. Night Shyamalan movie? You guys can Google it. Anyway, where he's always getting hurt, right? But like the issue was Luka will not take care of his body for a full calendar year. Luka is going to break down and get hurt. Luka does drink way too much beer and wine, and Luka doesn't play any defense, right? And so now they trade him because they were like, look, if we keep him, we got to sign him to a $300+ million guaranteed contract that becomes untradeable, and we can't make him get into shape if we're guaranteeing that we're giving him $350 million over like 4 years, right? Like, why would you change your habits if you don't have to? So they trade him. And remember, Nico Harrison had built an NBA Finals team. It's like you can say like I don't trust the Mavericks organization, but he had just built an NBA Finals team and now he's trying to rebuild it, and they fired him just because the public, who doesn't know anything about anything, gets mad because that Luka's our guy. Like, dude, that's not how it works. You got to give a guy a chance. So do I think they can? Yeah. Have I seen something messy? Yeah. There's nothing messier than Dallas. Everybody's gotten fired because of it. Because of a trade that everybody signed off on. And oh yeah, by the way, Nico Harrison's right. How do I know? I went to the Laker game 2 nights ago. You know who didn't play? Luka Doncic, because he's hurt again. Right? So I understand that when you're in the sphere of Wisconsin, you're like, oh my God, it's like trading away Kareem, where it's going to take us 40 years to get back to the mountaintop. Like, this is the cycle of how it works. It's time, and you got to do the best you can to get the right pieces and like, are you going to take a bad expiring contract, or are you just going to get draft picks? You got to be super creative, but it's not like they haven't had a runway for it. They need to know their asking price. They need to know, how it all works. But yeah, I think it's time. And yes, I do think you can trust the organization, because if you bring in somebody from the outside to try and change this or change your trajectory or make better decisions, they don't have the runway for it. They haven't been going through, they don't know what the organization has, and it's too late to catch up to catch up. They have to have a plan in place. They have to be super strategic. They have to know who the players are, who really wants Giannis, what really his value is. And if they can get into the lottery multiple times this year, yes, they can rebuild it, and it'll probably take 3 years before they're back deep into the playoffs. The lottery is that good at the top of the draft this year. It's not always this good. Like, I wouldn't do it for future years. I would definitely do it if I can get in the lottery this year.
Coach Doug Gottlieb, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. DG, stick around. We have more questions for you, and we got to talk about Kiel. Your coaching tree exists. When we get back, we're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
contract, please.
Gear. Stop by Rally House at the Mayfair Collection and register to win a $100 gift card while Sparky broadcasts Wisconsin Sports Daily live this afternoon from 2 to 5 here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh and Doug Gottlieb, the head coach of UW Green Bay men's basketball, on a Thursday. He was traveling yesterday. We talked yesterday, DG, about what you're allowed to say at sports, in sports, or within a sporting event that you can't say in real life, or maybe you shouldn't get away with saying.
DG, you muted yourself, bud. Need you quickly.
We feel like you may have some things to say about this. Jeez, what was that?
Can you share with me the context of how you got there?
You bet. Wilson Contreras and the Milwaukee Brewers and the Boston Red Sox. After game 1 of the 3-game series that the Brewers just played in out at Fenway Park, Wilson Contreras, who got beaned, which is BS. I don't even think it hit his little protector, but I digress. After the game, he said that that's the 24th time the Brewers have beaned him in his career. Remember, he used to play for the Cubs and the Cardinals. And it's the 6th time that Brandon Woodruff himself has beaned Wilson Contreras. He said, and I quote, "If they bean me again, I will take one of them out. That's the message." I don't think you get to say that in real life, but apparently in sports, it's cool. So tell us what it's like and what's allowed, what's not. And this isn't shade on you for your relationship with refs, but it's more, nobody knows this probably better than you, having crossed over so many different sports. Why is it allowed in sports and not real life?
I don't know, but it just is. Because racism, sexism, they don't apply to, there's bullying like that. It just all goes out the window. It's pure energy. It's really hard to explain. Shannon Alberts, he owns a big roofing company in Fox River Valley, and he sits next. He has 4 seats right next to us. And every time he brings a guest, like I start by, "Hey, listen, I'm just going to apologize profusely for the language you will hear from the rest of my bench."
Right.
But yeah, there's just I don't know. I think it's awesome And it's where, people talk about locker room talk. Like, there's not really the locker room talk about women, or like it's not just PC, but doesn't really occur nearly as much, I think, as people want to think. But there is a realness to everything you say. I mean, I don't know, women's basketball, men's basketball, totally different, right? Where, how we curse all the time, but it's how the curse word is used is how you're judged on it. Why is it allowed in sports? I think that's kind of what makes sports awesome, is because sports is real, right? It's real. Sure. Sometimes you choke, right? Sometimes you choke. Sometimes sometimes you're going to be in an argument with somebody who you're in sports. You can argue with your best friend and tell them to F off, and then you still have to go out and solve the problem on the court together. Like, that really happens. So I don't know. I just think that's what attracts most men to sports, is it cuts away, politics, sexism, racism, anything. And it's just about the sport, and there's an energy about it, and everybody approaches it differently. Like Tony Bennett, I don't think he's ever cursed in his life. He never seems to lose his cool. It's amazing. It was amazing to watch him coach, to where like, dude, you lost to a 16 seed and he never lost his cool. You win the national championship. He's a flatliner, right? So I just think that's how he is in real life. This is how I am in real life. And also, when you watch somebody's coaching career, you'll see them kind of evolve over time, or sometimes they devolve over time. But I just think it's the realest thing there is. And I think that's what attracts most men to it, is that it's, you can kind of just be your real true self.
Yeah, but isn't there, isn't there a gray area then? Because I feel like, especially in today's day and age, DG, there's like levels to what people think is okay and not okay. It's not necessarily where sports are the wild, wild west and people can just, based on who they are, say how they feel, do what they want. There are things that then the governing bodies say is not okay and is okay. I mean, we just got done talking to you the last time you were on about how we thought, okay, so DG gets in trouble for what he says, but Dan Hurley can go and headbutt a coach. And making those comparisons in sports, there is gray area still. It's not.
Well, I'll just say this about the we kind of talked a little bit about the headbutt or whatever, and everybody's come out and says it's not a big deal. I think the really cool thing about college basketball is that it is sort of a show, right? It is sort of a show. And once you've done it long enough, everybody knows, like I had the last 5 games at home. Every game, there was a ref who's standing next to me at the end of the game, and he would go, "Hey, man, you guys are doing a hell of a job," right? I was like, that's freaking awesome. Now, they're still going to ref the game the way they ref the game, but it's one of those, just once you all get to know each other, right, then, like, they're going to screw up a call. You're going to screw up. I'm going to screw up a play call. They're going to screw up a call, right? A player's going to screw up. Like, zero people are perfect. So I think in terms of the ref thing, it's, once we all know each other, you kind of know some guys overreact. Some guys are foot stompers, like little rabbits over there, stomping their foot. Some guys cross their arms and look like put their arms in their pits. Like, everybody kind of has their own way of dealing with stuff. And I think the personalities of it, your true personality comes out. I don't know, Josh. I don't know if I answered your question. I don't know what the gray area is. I just think it's, you got, like, within a game, every game is going to be officiated differently, and you have to adjust to it. Every official is going to be different. Every coach is everybody has to kind of adjust to it. And then once you all get to the flow, what screws it up is when everything's going like this, and then somebody calls a foul when, hey, that hasn't been called a foul all game. It's just, all you're asking for is consistency, and all they ask you for is consistency as well, right? Like, if you're going to rant and rave the whole time on the sidelines, then that's expected. It doesn't draw their attention that much. But if you're going to go from 0 to 100 and blow up, now that gets their attention, even if it's the same, like what Mick Cronin says, but he does it the whole game. So it doesn't feel out of place. It's when you're a quiet person and you lose your mind that all of a sudden it draws their attention. That's where I think the gray area thing you're talking about comes in.
I think, like, what Trevor was getting to with the Contreras bit was, I mean, there were multiple people outside of a Wisconsin bias that might just not be a fan of him because we were facing was about our team that were saying you can't you can't do that. That's uncalled for. The MLB needs to step in, blah, blah, blah. And then don't.
Dude, that's baseball. Hold on. It's again, baseball where and we have that in basketball. Okay. It's a little harder now, but I'll never forget my first collegiate exhibition game was at Notre Dame. The late John McLeod was my coach. And we played a German professional team. They had a big 7-footer. And every time one of our guards came across the lane, he'd hammer you with a forearm. And the next day, we watched film at 7 a.m. And his whole message was like, Notre Dame, we're immature. Notre Dame, our bigs have to protect our guards. And so it was that was if you foul us, you foul our guards, we're going to foul yours. We're going to take you out when you come down the lane. It's a little harder to do now, but it does work that way. Officials do this. It's one of the things that replay has hurt, where sometimes they'll miss a call on the court and then the ball go out of bounds and they'll give it to the wrong team. And you're like, hey, whoa, wasn't off them. And really all the ref is doing is even out the fact that they can't go back and fix the missed call. And this is their way of righting a wrong. It's the makeup call, but in kind of real time. So there's and for baseball, like, look, dude, if Woody throws at him 6-7 times, I don't blame him. I'm gonna take him out. Hell yeah, I'm going to the mound next time. Or we're gonna now if pitcher's not hitting, now we're gonna throw at your best hitter. We're gonna throw at Jackson Churio, whatever, right? So that's baseball has worked that way for 100 years. The big thing is you can't put you can't throw a rock at somebody's head, right? Throw it at their backside, hit him in the backside. They take their base, and eventually. It either comes to we're going to hit your guy or it comes to fisticuffs. That's it.
Doug Gottlieb, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. DG, less than 4 minutes. Apparently, you cussed too much for Keel Guns. He's gone. No, it's not the truth, but it's an awesome opportunity for him in Northern Michigan.
This is the coolest and worst thing ever. So, when you put together a staff, it's like putting together a team. Everybody has to have a role, right? And I had in my vision, okay, this is perfect. I'm going to bring in Keel, right? He's stepping up. He's coming back home to Green Bay. He's from Green Bay, went to high school in Green Bay. His wife owns a shop in town. He loves this program. He knows everything about this program. And for a year, he would be kind of under Coach Brown's watch. And eventually, he would be full DC. He's got a great handle on recruiting Wisconsin, on D2s and D3s. And those guys transfer up. And we became really, really close friends. And then, Matt Matterjack who I've become friends with as well, gets the Northern Illinois job. And I don't know why Parkside didn't hire Keel. I thought he was going to get the Parkside job, but they didn't hire him. And then Northern comes up and I'm like, he gone, right? And it was, look, I said, is there anything I can do to keep you? He's like, I want to be a head coach. And what would keep him from being a head coach here is he doesn't have head coaching experience. So now he gets it. So it's no different than the decision that players make, which is like, hey, am I going to go and take a lead role or do I want to be a bench player? And so he and his family, but it's the coolest and worst thing ever because he does so much. He has an unbelievable work ethic. But more than anything, it's one of those, there's a narrative out there that you don't hire alums because not all the alums have worked at schools, right? I would tell you that Keel Gans is the opposite of that. Because he loves and cares for this place so much, he had that passion for his work and for our team on a daily basis. I think he'll have it. I know he'll have it at Northern. It's his job. But, I mean, he's an amazing, amazing assistant, coach, dad, leader, man. So I couldn't be happier for him. But, man, he leaves a void because he's just awesome. Awesome. So now we got to hit reset and figure it out and rebuild the staff. Also lost Caden LeCaptain, who was literally with me from 6 a.m. day one. And what happened was when I got the job, I texted Shaka, I need somebody. I need somebody bad. I need them right now. And he's like, I'm giving you Mav. He goes by Maverick because the guys at Marquette think he looks like a young Tom Cruise. He got to drink a little less beer to look like a young Tom Cruise, but he's a good looking cat. So Mav was at the Hyatt at 6 a.m. with a coffee for me on May, whatever the day my press conference was, he was there. That's how long Mav and I have been together. He went to Preble High School. His parents come to every game. It was great. But when Cleveland got the job at Siena, like he's like, I want to do this thing. I was like, go do it. You got to, at some point in your life, you're going to have to live outside of the state of Wisconsin, and then you can always come back. And so this is his first opportunity. So I'm losing 2 of my Wisconsin guys, but we'll find a way, and I have some really good candidates that I think we'll hire one, and people will be impressed by. Because the one thing I've learned, and I think you guys know this, is like, dude, you are the company you keep, and none of this is because of me. Like, we're better because I hired really, really good people, and they figured out kind of how to win with our basketball team.
All right, DG, we got to roll. That's awesome. Congrats to Keel, and you'll get it right. Are we talking next Wednesday? Question mark.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually you send a text the night before. Did you
here
send
we
a
go.
text the night before? You did.
Look back at your text. I did text you the day before.
I was West Coast, so it was I don't know. I was at the Laker game the night before, so I don't remember. But then I was in transit, and I just didn't feel good about where I would be broadcasting from.
Forgive and forget. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
You the man. See you, Josh.
Happy Thursday. We'll see you.
Bye,
Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. All right. John Kuhn, next, 9 to noon on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Make sure to stop by Rally House at the Mayfair Collection and register to win $100 gift card while Sparky broadcasts Wisconsin Sports Daily this afternoon, 2 to 5 on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. We're crossing over with our guy, John Kuhn, 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff up next as we finish out Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on a Thursday. Our thanks to Doug Gottlieb for jumping on.
Mm-hmm.
JK, John Kuhn, are you watching the Masters? Are you working today, or are you just headed out to the club to see if they're all ready for your golf game in the season?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm having a problem with the ESPN app to get this up. Everything is an app. You never check to make sure your app works before the sporting event starts. Then you forget your email, your login, your password, everything. Can we just go back to a simpler time when it was just a channel changer and a cable box?
Yeah, but we all cut the cord. It's our fault. We did this to ourselves.
I didn't cut it yet.
Kinda. I mean, did we do this to ourselves? I mean, are there even cable boxes still around? And do the cable boxes have any channels that you ever want to watch?
There's that. That's the problem. You get these huge packages with the cable boxes or the direct TVs or the dish networks. With all the I have YouTube TV. Well, I can't get all of the channels I want to watch on there, but I have 1,000 that I don't care about.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's pretty bad. Right now, I'm currently getting a 6-digit code sent to my email so that I can potentially try and figure this whole thing out. It's a mess.
Also, I don't know, John, if it's on. Is it on ESPN? I thought Prime. I think it starts on Prime. Coverage does today, and then ESPN at 3.
It's on Prime. You mean to tell me it's on Prime right now?
It is on. Oh no,
I don't think it's anywhere right now.
Right now, it's only on CBSSports.com or the Masters app. Is the only way you're getting it right now. But like the coverage, I think starts at noon.
Do you know what are you sure about this? Are you reading this from an article?
No, trust me. I've been trying to find out where the hell this actually. It's the hardest thing to watch. There's nothing else on. This should be the easiest thing to put on midday, the start of the Masters tournament. It's very frustrating, John. But there was, the Masters social media account posted a while back, April 9th and 10th, 1 p.m. through 3 p.m. on Prime, then 3 p.m. through 7:30 on ESPN.
Well, it's not 1 p.m. I want the 9 a.m. I want to watch the Bryson DeChambeau group that's going to tee off here in a little bit. That's what I want to watch.
Yep.
It's on ESPN. I just don't know why I can't log in.
Apparently the Masters app is where it's at. You can watch all sorts of different angles on the Masters app, which you'll have to register for and create another password. And then you'll be in that vicious cycle. It's perfect.
Okay. Is the Masters app free? That's a big question. You got to figure that out.
Also, is that are you getting that on your smart TV? Is that just like on your phone?
No, you can cast it. Who knows?
Yeah, you can cast it.
John, what's your handicap?
Right now it's 11.1 is my index, which is a fair and honest handicap. I think there's a lot of people out there rolling with low indexes, like avid golfers. Their indexes are a tad low, like they're running with low indexes. I also think there's a lot of sandbaggers out there, right? I like saying I say 11.1 proud because I know it's fair, it's honest, and I'm not cheating anybody. Unlike somebody we used to work with, Josh.
Oh yeah. Man, you guys would only fight about that every day for like 2 years.
That was not even close. That was not even close. You have a guy who's says he's an 8 handicap, but he's really playing to a 4. I mean, that's not fair. You take a lot of money that way, piss a lot of people off.
Yeah. 8 and a 4. I say mine is I'm overweight and blind, but those are my handicaps. All right, so who are you? I put this out there. I heard Rami bring it up to you yesterday about this. You take the top 4 people at Potawatomi Sportsbook or the field. Who are you taking?
Well, who are the top 4? You got Scotty Scheffler, probably Rory. Who are the other 2?
I don't have it up anymore. You had Scotty, you had Rom, and Bryson. I know were like the top 3.
Yeah,
and we got like 30 seconds.
Give me a kick in at number 4, and I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the top 4.
Okay.
Well, go Justin Rose. That's who we were told this morning's going to win, and I may or may not put $25 on it immediately after our guy Chuck joins us this morning. Catch him on Saturday mornings, 7 to 9, here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Our thanks to Doug Gottlieb. Our thanks to John Kuhn. You'll hear him coming up next from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. We've got a fun Friday for you. What are you doing with the Stanley Cup? You got 24 hours. You won it. You're an NHL player. You're here in Wisconsin. It's time to party. What are you doing with the cup? We'll talk about that tomorrow on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Because we're not done yet.